Musto0063 back for more Make a Good Mega Man level contest number 2. Last time finished up tier 4, bought an extra item from the shop, so the skull icon there you can see in the bottom of the pause menu, which allows me to sort of tank an extra hit if I'm about to die, which is always nice. And yeah, like I said, tier 4 done, bring on tier 5. 10 energy elements and 16 noble nickels. And not a good start, or not apparently good start, with the with a symbol for one of the judges' least favourites circling the comment section for this level. So yeah, are we going to start off with something pretty ropey? I mean, it's quite unusual for a tier 5 level. We're in tier 5 now for a level to be someone's least favourite, but yeah. 50th place, Palmer John. Holy crap, Mega Man Can Airslide. Score 26.4. 36, 10, 24, 34, 28. Droopy Hornet's least favourite. Well, I guess to say my piece before we kick off, I actually really like this level, but because I'd not seen this concept before, but admittedly I probably don't play a lot of Mega Man ROM hacks or fan games per se, so I guess I could sort of understand, and I think that's ultimately where Droopy Hornet was coming from with this, how one could be disappointed with this gimmick and that it not being utilised to its full potential. But since I lack of imagination and haven't played perhaps those ROM hacks or other fan games that maybe would use or utilise this gimmick in fanciful ways, I actually really liked this. But yeah, let's actually play by level and we can see what we're dealing with here. So, to show off the kind of the gimmick, obviously Mega Man can slide along the floor, and he can normally jump, but Mega Man can now, as the title suggests, air slide. And Mega Man can also, if he jumps while he's in the air, can jump out of an air slide, so we can get a lot of extra height and get to areas where we have no real possibility of getting there ordinarily. So yeah, that's going to possibly make for some really interesting gimmicks. And again here with the air slide, it sort of keeps the momentum if you're in the air. So yeah, we need for that section, we need to be close to the right hand side of the platform so that we can slid over the gap and continue on through the narrow platform. If we were too far to the left, as I demonstrated when I was falling in the pit. But yeah, I do like the kind of the somewhat Mega Man 8 jump slide kind of, I don't say fake outs because it's not like they're not being helpful, but yeah, we're not on a track, so yeah, they're questionably helpful because yeah, we know we're going to need to do that anyway. But yeah, it's a nice little touch. At least now they might start getting a little bit. If we have to kind of hear them over and over again, might end up getting a little bit repetitive. But for the moment, I'm fine with it. So this is sort of, I would suggest, the main kind of gimmick, if you will, to or the main way the air sliding mechanic is used. It's mainly used to, I mean, as you would normally expect, bridge large gaps, and primarily sort of hitting these switches. So let me just try and take that out first before I do anything too much, i.e., like, whack straight into an enemy. But yeah, we're going to see a lot of these, switches from Drill Man stage, which make the ground, or put solid ground around, so that we can then progress. And yeah, I mean, I suppose I could see how that would sort of be an overused thing. The longer the stage goes on. But as I say, as I sort of said in my introduction, I'm not really. I'm going to take the right-hand path here. I'll have to remember. Thank you. That was really helpful. My little 1 health there that I needed. Oh, okay. It's a dead end this way. Okay. I was worried there that I was going to have to, not worried, but thought I might have to sort of come back to this branching path another time or something. Really? Oh! Okay, that's nice. The floor there actually didn't kill me. So, that's really nice, actually. I would have expected to have had to have hit that switch before landing there, otherwise it would have killed me, but apparently I've registered on the floor anyway. Okay, that's generous. I mean, you've got enough time there to react to it anyway. I was just very slow on the upkeep. And of course we've got Plant Man platforms, and okay, this could be tricky unless I can hit this one from. I can have the charge shot. That's fine. I guess I should also probably say that I'm probably going to mess up on occasion, because I don't feel like demonstrating it now when I'm over a pit, but there are times where you would swear that you've actually jumped out of an air slide. I'm going to try and head up, because I'm not conscious that might be a pit. I don't think I'm going to be able to hit that platform, unfortunately. Not with a charge shot, anyway. Triple blade might work, I suppose. Okay, and let's see if we can time this nicely. Cool. Yeah, there are going to be... Oh, hang on, that is a... This looks like a dead end. Okay, so maybe I do have to go... Maybe I do have to go down there. Okay, yeah, fine. Okay. Oh, and, whoa, okay. Pulling, gotcha moments. But, yeah, actually, I'll demonstrate it now. There are times where, like, for instance, I mean, I jumped there in time, but there are times where you would swear that you have sort of jumped in time to get out of the air slide, but you're maybe just that little bit, the game thinks you're that little bit too late, and you actually don't pull off the second jump and you die. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, and long may that continue that it doesn't actually happen, but I'm in trouble here. I timed that horribly. I should have waited for the Yoku blocks to cycle back. That was awful. If I was going to die, I did not imagine it was going to be like that. Oh dear, that was terrible. Just yeah, I was way too ahead of myself there, and that was a lucky dodge. Yeah, let's wait for the Yoku blocks to reappear and then go. Give myself a bit of extra time. That was yeah, that was dreadful. So yeah, if I'm gonna die, I reckon it's gonna. Oh, sorry, if I'm gonna die, not just get hit, gonna die. It's gonna be because I fail to jump out of an air slide. Okay, so now we come to the firebar section of the level, and these are going to be used quite prominently. I think from now on, or maybe just in specific areas. I'm not quite sure. I have a memory of them being used quite a bit, so I guess we'll see. You going to be annoying? Well, you could be. Yeah, I want them. I want them. I want them. I want them. Good. No, don't hit the spikes. Okay. Fun with snake blocks, and I have to say this is probably actually. I mean, I will not remember where this thing goes, but I think I remember this being sort of maybe my least favourite section of this level, just because it sort of drags on for a little while. It feels like it's quite dangerous, and yeah, there's things like this enemy here, which is just completely on its own with nothing else around. So, which is just again standing in midair, just sort of doing nothing. So, it's all a bit weird there. And if memory serves, I think I've taken the path I want to. Yes, to get a noble nickel. But yeah, I'm not banking on maybe pulling this off this go. I think I'm probably I'm debating whether to sort of tank hits. Just well, I actually got through that. That was actually okay, and I got the noble nickel. Fine, good. Can I get out of here? Yes, cool. Okay, fine. Well, I'm probably going to die. In fact, I think I'm probably going to die here because there's no way without. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way without an E-tank or something. I mean, I could have used an E-tank, but I think with low health there was no way I was going to pull that off. So I'm fine to. Checkpoint there is quite generous as well. I'll die there. There was no way I was going to get through this section, even with sort of like weapon usage and such like that. I think I would have pretty much had to have E-tanks in order to have got through that without dying. And as I say, with a checkpoint, I didn't know the checkpoint would be quite so close. That was a nice surprise, but. Yeah, I don't want to be using E-tanks on levels. Let's put it that way. I want to be hanging on to them in case I need them for like bosses and such. I know there's like loads during the game, and I've got the maximum I could get anyway. But just on matter of principle, I don't like using E-tanks on levels unless I'm like forced to in a pinch on a last life or something like that. I think I am going to use Hornet Chaser to get rid of you, though. You're very annoyingly placed. Okay. I guess while I think of it, since we're on a sort of a fairly slow-moving screen and the background not being very interesting, it's perhaps a little disappointing just to see a blue background with really not much else going on. Would have perhaps been nice to see. Okay, where am I? Is the snake coming back? Do I have to make a leap of faith? Oh, I do, and I need to shoot that. Bother. Well, that's irritating. I wonder if I could just rush jet to the end or something and then just sort of drop down now that I know that's sort of solid ground down there, but well. Yeah, anyway, I was saying the sort of just really bland background probably doesn't do the level too many favours from an aesthetics point of view, but again, I'm not really judging it on that. Obviously, you know, during a contest, I'm sure the judges would have had to have you know, paid attention to that sort of thing. So, which I'm guessing probably didn't do the level any favours. But oh no, okay, there are spikes there. So yeah, I'm wondering whether now I could just sort of like go to the right and you know, rush jet to safety or something. But we'll take the snake path, and now I know there's another platform there that I have to shoot. It should be fine next time. Yeah, something in the background would have perhaps been nice, rather than just this fairly dull blue. I'm going to go over that this time. I don't know why I went under it in the first place. Not that we really have any danger, but okay. Cool. And very annoying to die so close to the blooming boss as well. Oh well. And after all that, and I had fun with that level, we've got kind of a really nice boss at the end, which I'm hoping goes pretty well. We've got a sort of a enhanced top man fight. So yeah, he now does. If I can get my like slides and jumps properly, he now does. He shoots four, maybe it's 5 sometimes as well. Of these top. Yes, okay. It's alternates between 4 and 5 top platforms. And yeah, you basically want to sort of try and get a shot in, jump to the right, and slide back to the left. Or sorry, that would work that way, wouldn't it? Of course, it wouldn't work the other way. So change everything I said every time I said left to right for going in the opposite direction. But oh yeah, nicely screwed up right at the end there. But oh well, it's a fun fight actually. I kind of like that. It's don't crash, thank you. It's very hectic, but yeah, I always thought Top Man's obviously fight was. Just generally very easy, but don't get me wrong, I love Top Man's level, Mega Man 3, but Top Man's just ludicrously easy, so yeah, there's some nice challenge to that fight. And as I say, overall a really nice kind of level. Maybe there could have been more kind of imagination and other ways to which to use the air slide. Again, I don't have that level of imagination, nor have I played like the other fan games or ROM hacks, but I believe, according to some of the judges, have implemented that mechanic better and in more clever ways. But yeah, I haven't played them, so this came as quite a nice surprise. But again, I could see for someone who has played those and been wowed by such a mechanic before that this could be a bit of a letdown. But oh well, I really like the level. Let's see what the judges thought. Way to spoil the gimmick in the title. Wow, this level is pretty neat. It's cool to see that someone brought air sliding into this game, and there's some pretty great setups made with it. The air jump slide is pretty neat and adds a new twist to the air slide gimmick, and some of the acrobatics involved in the level are super fun to pull off. I really like the room with the fire waves. They're super tricky but fun to work around. Noble nickel rooms are pretty great too, though I can't struggle with the first one. I really like the block train segment. It reminds me of a few levels in Super Mario World, is that? ROM hacks, I'll be specific and say impetuous athletic, and no one will know what that means. The boss fight is neat too. It reminds me of something you would legit see in a ROM hack. I think it actually is in a ROM hack. I just forget which. 2 issues though. 1, that quick time event room after the midpoint is dumb, and 2, sometimes my jump just doesn't register while air sliding. I don't know. But overall, it's a super nice level, though I think the solid blue background could have at least been black because it's kinda ugly looking. Look, there are levels that have a lot of potential but fail when it comes to execution. Then there are other levels that are just bad. Then there are levels like this which do both. This was by far the most disappointing level in the contest for me, and for that reason it's my least favourite. Seriously, you can do so many things with an air sliding gimmick. Rockman 5 air sliding and Rockman 4 Burst Chaser X air sliding are both amazing ROM hacks that utilise this gimmick very well. This level, on the other hand, doesn't use the gimmick very creatively at all. All you really did with it was have the player use it to hit switches and jump on Plantman platforms. Slide over the switch, a platform appears under you. Shoot the Plantman platform, slide over to it. It's just not fun, especially with enemies everywhere. There was a room where the player died if they didn't know to slide to the right when falling. The jump after an air slide function was sometimes unresponsive, leading to a lot of deaths, and it was even worse when you required the player to use it with fireballs everywhere. The aesthetics were very minimal, with nothing more than a blue background and some blocks, and the junk eyes and springs appear to be standing on nothing, which is just lazy. The only thing I could really say I liked about this level was the boss, which looks like a spruced up Top Man. Overall though, I was extremely disappointed in this level. It really did drop the ball. You can do so much better than this. Yeah, interesting idea. I really like the platforming possibilities that this mechanic introduces. The pure platforming segments scattered mostly through the first half of the level are fun and tense, where I think they could do with less enemies, as they're sometimes placed in a way where they're ripping the player out of the flow of the level. I didn't enjoy the direction the level took with its fire and block sections. The fire sections felt like a ton of cheap hits, and I fell into the pit in the second nickel section far too many times. The block snake section replaces all the tense action of the level with slowly waiting for the snake to advance so the player can get to the boss. The boss itself was a really fun fight. I like how his attacks line up to allow for an easy dodging pattern that still made me feel like I was skillfully dodging a tough opponent. Well, Woo! If this level toyed around much more with its platforming segments, perhaps by introducing other types of platforms, having a section where, for instance, guts lifts move in parallel and the player has to jump between them to avoid obstacles, I would have enjoyed this level a lot more. As it stands, though, neat concept. Really awesome concept, but it just wasn't executed well enough. The level design is primitive as it's filled with plenty of extremely cheap spots, and the main gimmick isn't used as well as it should have been. Naturally, this means the level gets frustrating or boring fast. Another problem is that the main mechanic just doesn't work that well. For example, if you jump after sliding, you can't dash mid-air, and you can't double jump if you don't dash mid-air beforehand. Other than that, the boss is kind of generic and the graphics are boring, but that's about it. This stage is a seriously cool concept of primary gimmick. The challenges are interesting and unique, and we even defied dev kit only expectations by having a modified boss at the end. So what went wrong? Well, this stage simply isn't very fun. This partially comes down to the presentation. It's hard to have fun in a space with zero context. There doesn't appear to be any progress being made. The player just gets a dull blue background. The player is visually bored to tears only 30 seconds into the stage, and somehow the graphics get worse as the stage goes on. The lack of graphic also hurts the gimmick setups. There are many situations where a tiled background could have been used to give indications to where something is going to travel, to draw the player's eye to what they should be looking at, and overall just make the level play make sense. One of the other issues comes down to sheer frustration. There's a second nickel, and this might just be one of the worst nickels in the game. Bear in mind, your earlier screen with the fire waves is already rather obnoxious, not helped by the fact that visually they are rather hard to track where they're supposed to travel. But the second nickel, oh man, these screens are so finicky, require such precise timing that it quickly becomes a chore, then a slog, and then you want to throw your controller/laptop/PC out the window as you're knocked into the pit for the 100th time. The real thing that kills these screens is the fact that the fireballs curl back on themselves. One would have been bad enough, both fireballs curling back? There was no reason for this. This renders the challenge into something that is too exact, mostly because the player themselves also has to curve backwards to land back on safety. And there's two such screens. Alright, some nickels are optional, sure, but they should never cross the line to absurdity, not like this. Clever stage that's just too clever by half feel that enjoyable. Really, really wish some effort had been expanded in the tile set, as my memories of the level are awash with the colour blue, and only blue. So yeah, very kind of a split opinion there. I probably disagree with the comments about the noble nickels. I didn't think either of those were too bad. The fire wave one can be a little hard to visually kind of get used to, but I mean the second screen is really nothing. You can get to the noble nickel before the fire waves even come, so it's really just that first one, and there's a checkpoint right before it. So yeah, I don't think the noble nickels in that stage are that bad, to be honest. So, yeah, anyway, like I said, mixed bag of comments, but overall, I really like the level. So, yeah, I'll leave that one there. Hey, Crashman. Believe it or not, I used to play some serious Gallagher back in the day. I don't know if I believe you. 49th place, Mini Macro, Maze of Significantly Less Death. Score 26.6. 18, 37, 18, 38, 22. One LGM, sorry, no noble nickels. And I think this is a really nice level as well. It's obviously, I'm incredibly biased again, not least with the Shovel Knight save we saw before, but with VVV. So yeah, I love that game, and yeah, it was nice to see a kind of a stage designed around it. And yeah, this was significantly less frustrating than Maze of Death from the first contest, although that went surprisingly well during my Mammal 1 Let's Play. Anyway, Infobox. Maze of Significantly Less Death. Music Predestined Fate by Magnus Paulsen from VVV. Your teammates are trapped around this weird area after a plane crash. Go save them. I'm not sure what you're actually supposed to do with this thing, whether as that sort of functioning save point or anything, but I never seem to get it to do anything, so we're just going to let that be, and we're going to drop down, and we'll kick off the stage. So the main kind of gimmick to this, well, it obviously being a VVV, there's way too many V's. No words. No freaking words. Let's try and do a bit of a better job than that, shall we? Let's concentrate, we'll put the platform up and we'll go down and not get crushed. Wow! Are you freaking kidding me? Anyway, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my incredible clumsiness, the main gimmick to this level is that you are basically going on a rescue mission, as the infobox said, to rescue. No, let's not fall down there. To rescue your stranded crew, and yeah, we need to. In rescuing them, we'll get a whole bunch of keys that we can use to eventually unblock our exit and reach the energy elements. And yeah, let's hoping the level goes a bit better than how it went right at the beginning there. Good grief. If that's not the most clumsy death in the game, and one where I'm not trying to be crushed, I remember, of course, I deliberately died to a crushing section in one of the levels That was weird. In stage 2, I think it was. But yeah, that was deliberate. That was to get a costume. That was to trigger an event to get a costume. That was not an intended crushing. Dear God. Anyway, we've got a lot of use of the reverse gravity gimmick, as you would naturally expect in a VVV level. There's our energy element, by the way, and you can see it's hidden behind 5 locked doors. So yeah, we're going to have to go rescuing 5 crew members. And I see that I'm going to have to go up there, so I want to pay attention to where I want to be. I want to be just to sort of the right-hand side, I guess, then of the grey and black sort of tower that's going up. And I guess I'll go get that now, I suppose, before entering the sort of the main hub area. Yeah, good placement there. And yeah, actually, we have our first person right here to rescue. So Smidis 2. Thanks, Biddy. And we get a key. Nice. Is this anything? Okay, it is something. I have maximum of all that, so I think I'm just going to leave those be. Not that I plan on using anything during this stage, but yeah. So yeah, we get into the teleporter, we end up in this hub area. I think I can't quite remember whether or not if you die you keep the keys. I would imagine you probably do. I don't remember doing this flawlessly first time, and I don't recall having to like get the blimmin' rescue everybody a second time, so I'm assuming, well, the second person's right here. That's very generous. Renhog. I guess I should be thankful. So yeah, we get the second key, but I will go and unlock the doors as I go, just in case it doesn't register, but I'm pretty sure it will. I've been to the right, haven't I? I think that's where I've just been. Yeah, I've been there. Okay, so I don't have to do that anymore. So okay, we've got 2 of them. Let's head to the left then. We'll sort of work our way up. We'll work our way down. Sorry. So we'll clear out the higher areas first. I need to be upside down there. Do I need to be upside down? Oh, I can stand on that thing. Never mind. I don't think the reverse physics are always kind of really nicely done. I don't think there's anything to worry about with that. It's obviously very reminiscent and very needed for a VVV sort of section. So yeah. It's a lot of fun as well. Let me just put that out right now. This is a very fun level to play. Okay, cool. Gariri. This place is 3 spooky snee. Thanks, by the way. I guess while I've got a bit of a track back, I suppose I could go into one slight criticism I've got with this then. Not that it's a massive backtrack or anything like that, but you saw with maybe the first person, the first crew member that I rescued, that I got to. Do I want to be upside down here or upside down? I think I want to be right side up. That there was a teleporter there that sort of warped you back to the central area, which was really nice and a nice time saver. But whereas here. Okay, cool. Whereas here, you do have to backtrack. As I say, it's not a huge journey that you have to make back, but I think probably there could have been, if you were going to put a teleporter with the first crew member that you save, on a path that's way shorter than the one I've just been on here and way closer to the hub area, then you probably could have put a teleporter at the back end of the area I've just come from. But oh well. I'm not sure whether that'll be an issue with the last 2 that we have to do. So anyway, we've got 2 areas on the bottom here, so we'll go left first. Why not? And we'll be careful not to land on the spikes. Okay, do I need to keep those? Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Let's not glitch unnecessarily through platforms. Points off for that. Keep forgetting I'm like, oh goodness me, I had the wall there to help me. Now I don't have the wall. Well, this is clumsy all of a sudden. Yeah, I keep getting put off by the. I really don't think I need that. Keep getting put off by the water physics, sort of. Obviously, now I definitely don't need it. Messing with my jump height. Okay, you could be kind of annoying if you're on these dropping platforms. Particularly if there are more of you. Yeah, and indeed there are. I'm probably just going to try and whiz through. In fact, I could have just whizzed through normally. That would have been fine. And indeed, we do have a teleport at the end of this path, so that's nice. I am what I am. Thanks, this place gives me the creeps. And there's our 4th key, and all the doors are back, and I've got all 4 keys again. Well, in that case, I'm not going to bother unlocking the doors all over again. I assume, yeah, if I were to die, that I would definitely keep... Yeah, definitely keep the keys active. So, yeah, well, I don't plan on testing that out. I really don't plan on testing that out. I do not like the looks of that jump, though. So I'm either going to use an utility item, or, you know what, I've already taken loads of hits, so I'll just take the hit and use it to bypass the section. Okay. And I must remember that these grey things are not solid, so don't try and step on those things. They are not hit platforms. Okay, cool. And I think that will be it then. Mr. Curran, achieve minty freshness with Colgate. Righty-ho. And we're done. Just out of sheer curiosity, I suppose. I might get some bolts for it. Fine, be stingy. But anyway, yeah, there's our 5 keys. Open up the 5 gates. And there's our energy element. Yeah, really nice level, that. I say, I'm, again, much like with Shovel Knight, heavily biased towards VVVV, provided it's done well, I suppose. Provided it's obviously not an atrocious stage or a train wreck, because, you know, mimicking a game is only going to get you so far. If the level itself is absolutely terrible, then I'm not going to like it. But yeah, no, I really like, obviously, VVV, and I think that stage does really well. I think there are a couple of nitpicks I'd have about sort of maybe being relatively easy when you're not getting crushed, and sort of some of them are quite long rooms without sort of too much really happening to them. And I think it would have been nice to have had a teleporter back at the end of the 3rd crew member I rescued there, rather than having to backtrack all the way through. I think pretty much all the other ones. Well, the first one had one, and that was pretty close to the boss route. The hub anyway. The second one was just in the hub area, and the 4th and 5th both had a teleporter. So yeah, it seems slightly odd the 3rd one doesn't. But oh well, it's a minor nitpick. Let me just say that. Anyway, from the judges. Lots of shield enemies. A lot of shield enemies. It drags down the gameplay like a lot. The enemies used here are just extremely basic mets, sniper joes, etc., and it makes the whole level feel boring, dull, and uninspired. I do like use of reverse gravity though, and the behaviour with reverse grey and underwater seriously weirded me out. And the teammate dialogue was cute too, but they're not like a huge part of the gameplay, really. I like most of the rooms that did use reverse grav, but they were few in number. Most of the rest of the level just felt bland and uninspired. And sniper joes. Lots of sniper joes. Hey Flashman, nice level you got there. Looks like you learned from your mistakes last time. All jokes aside, the whole level was very well thought out, and it was clear where you had to go to find the keys. I also enjoyed the humorous things everyone in the crew said. My only issues were that some of the gravity puzzles were a bit strange, and the settings were kind of a mess. Also, you can actually get some of the items while teleporting to main room if you spawn there after you die. The worst part of it was the questionable enemy placement. The part with the 4th key, I am what I am, is probably the worst in terms of this. As a VVV nerd, I am slightly saddened by this level. There's so much more it could have been done with the VVV theme. The challenges presented are all pretty basic and random, and it all feels somewhat disconnected, held together by the VVV plot and music. This sound is somewhat of a mess of ideas which one may enjoy at first playthrough, but is not worth revisiting due to its lack of meaningful content. Generally, it's a level with mostly solid level design, aside from a few sections, but for me, the biggest problem is the amount of bugs this stage has, such as having a broken camera or being able to be slammed into a wall because of buggy screen transitions. Nevertheless, the graphics are excellent, and this is definitely a stage I enjoyed. I'm not Mega Man, I'm my original fan character, Blega Man. Neat idea, don't get me wrong, and the initial setup had me excited for something that never came. Therein lies the issue. This stage appears to be all idea and no substance. Nothing much happened. There were some good gimmick introductions, but never did I see any payoff. It is also, frankly, one of the easiest Mega Man stages I have ever encountered. I get the feeling so much effort was put into making the stage not frustrating that you probably went too far. The fact that there are so many collectibles with nothing to actually hurt you renders this a complete cakewalk. The tile set is also kind of ugly. It's interesting to look at, a decent idea for a level theme, but far too many segments just seem to be missing the required tiles or are weirdly placed. It's also hard to tell what is and isn't foreground at times. I also encountered a crap ton of level design bugs and blunders which made it not only hard to backtrack, but also got me killed several times. I was shunned into walls as I moved from area to area. The red area was the biggest offender here and is so easy to stumble upon. I do wonder if this was play-tested very much. Some of this has been fixed post-judging, but not all. I was just sort of bored toward the end. It's inoffensive, but I doubt people are going to remember this very much. Good idea, bad execution. So again, a seemingly very mixed bag of comments from the judges, some kind of really liking it, and some perhaps, well, liking it but feeling like there's much more that could have been done with it. And I guess I can see that. As much as I say I do enjoy it, I do appreciate that, you know, thinking back to VVV, you know, there was more that could have been done with it. I hesitate to say an elevator section or a scrolling screen section, but yeah. there was probably more that could be done with that, but ultimately, you know, we're playing Mega Man here, not VV, so yeah, I liked it. Scrooge. Bar humbug. There goes the last of my change for that dratted city war machine. I say it's rigged. Fine. I'll do it. It's made slightly easier by the use of Super Arrow in the stage, and also a far less bugged rush jet. But yay! We've basically got City War from the first game. So, the first contest. So I find it really hard to get like a lot of like really high up with Super Arrow. So I'm hoping this is going to get me quite a distance and not get me stuck. Oh well, I was hoping for a lot further than that, but I guess that'll have to do. I'll have to use Rush Jet for the next kind of section. Ultimately this is City War, Kazcake's level from the first Magnamo contest. I believe it has been made, you know, considerably easier with, I think, some of the holes in the floors removed, and also just because of the fact that you have now got both Super Arrow and Rush Jet, and the hitbox detection on Rush Jet is so much better. Like seriously, I can actually, connect with the ceiling, I think, and still stay on Rush Jet, which is really nice. There's no real issue there. So this is still not a very good level, and obviously it's not a contest entry here. It's obviously just a callback to the bloody level from the first Magnamo contest, but it's a lot more playable. That being said, than its its actual entry in the first game. And I don't have quite so many problems with it, but frankly, it's still a bit of a nuisance. And Rush Jet and or Super Arrow is definitely the way to go. '48th place, Game Trooper, Volcanic Furnace. Score 27.0. 30, 28, 28, 25, 24. 1 energy element and 3 noble nickels. Let's go. The obligatory look behind me. That also seems kind of suspicious up there. Okay, nothing. Fine. I probably checked that when I first played this game, but obviously couldn't remember. Whoops. Okay, we're starting out fairly okay. Lots of these boss gates around, and I missed a noble nickel. Great. Well, I can get up there, obviously. No real hardship. Maybe it is a bit of a hardship. Fine then. Please don't fall down now. That would have been great, wouldn't it? Okay. Well, I guess we're obviously going to have some sort of fire kind of theme to this being called Volcanic Furnace. Was it Volcanic Furnace? I've even forgotten the name of the bloody level already. I think it was something like that. So it certainly makes sense to obviously have a heavy fire/lava theme. That does, of course, mean we do have these tackle fires and such like that, which always make me incredibly nervous because I never quite know which pits they're going to materialise out from. And of course, getting knocked into lava pits, not fun. Yeah, I'm sure they're probably on something of a timer. So unless it's sort of very generous in the sense that they only appear once, and then while I'm actually speaking this, I might just hang around for a minute. Well, not a minute, but They don't actually seem to be respawning. So if they actually only come up once per screen, and then so obviously they materialise when you first enter the screen and then don't again. That's actually really generous and actually really nice because right here now. Look, I'll probably go through the boss door. Yeah, because if they're continuously spawning, that can be very annoying. Particularly in Fireman stage, just from Mega Man 1, or indeed any other stage that has that kind of gimmick where those things kind of continuously respawn. Oh boy. Get rid of that first. And we'll get rid of that. That's an odd choice for quote-unquote mini-boss. But oh well. Okay, now we've got Gutsman aesthetics. Company reminder, Magma Refinery right, welding centre left, currently closed. I guess we're heading down then. Yeah, I'll grab the bolts, why not? Okay, fine. I will get rid of you, or try to at least anyway. First off, before trying to do too much else. I have a feeling you could be very annoying. Then hopefully we'll get the noble. Then hopefully we can get the noble nickel. And if this footholder can just sort of continues to not be very cooperative, I want you a little bit lower down, thank you, so I can sort of make a bit more of a loose jump. But yeah, otherwise I could have just used wire or super adapter or rush jet, or probably rush core. In fact, probably all four of the utility items would have been fine there. But oh well, we'll make use of the footholder platform as it's there. This kind of has me nervous. Very nervous. Although the bullet for the enemies do sort of seem to be timed out, so they're not really that obtrusive there, but that section would be very easy to panic and mess up on. I'll get your bolt, why not? I'm assuming I'm going down here. Yep, good. Dang it! Well, now I'm going to use Hornet Chaser on that. Okay, if I was nervous before, now I am dead. Please don't set me two back with a checkpoint. Okay, I can handle that as a checkpoint, that's fine. I can't handle that sodding enemy hitting me right off the bat. Well, the thing respawns, that's kind of nice. I think I'll probably grab that again. That's very nice. Yeah, I'll have a few goes at this thing. I mean, that was just stupid. That was just me not jumping properly at all. Just completely mistimed that. But yeah, if you're going to throw enemies into the mix here on this, like I say, I can't remember. But yeah, if you're going to throw enemies into the mix here, this could be kind of irritating. I'm fine with it being limited to just the fire pillars, if you want to do that, because admittedly they're going to pretty much just have to be over solid ground. So fire pillars I can deal with. What I do not want to see in particular are like fire tackles or bullet enemies or anything like that. Cool. And I think I probably missed a noble nickel then, if that's anything to go by. That's disappointing. I think I only collected 2 of them, unless we're not done with the level. No, we are. Okay. Okay, well again, I guess I would say I'm slightly disappointed there's not a fire-related or fire-related boss at the end there, but yeah. Okay, well that was a decent enough level. I kind of like that. I've done again nothing that's massively stood out as being wow. I'm going to say there's quite a lot now. Tier 5 is probably the very kind of like, well, I guess kind of average, and probably 6 as well. Sort of the average kind of levels where they're fine. They function really well. There's nothing too obnoxious about them, but there's nothing really that stands out as being amazing either. So yeah, I enjoyed that level. That was not so bad, including the Gutsman platform sections that I thought were going to cause a lot of problems. The only death I had was just being ridiculously clumsy and not actually jumping for the first gap in the platform. So yeah, my bad. But anyway, yeah, I will maybe have a quick search for this missing noble nickel, and yeah, then we'll read the judges' comments, and then we'll probably call that for a video. But yeah, well, hopefully I can find the noble nickel. If not, then we'll just move on to the judges' comments. But yeah, I'll give that level another go and see if I can find that elusive noble nickel. Okay, so I found it. I actually had to restart the level again because I sort of gone past the point where I think I could have scrolled back to where it was, but you know, I found it and then I tried to die and go back to an earlier point in the level, but I ended up going past this point. But anyway, yeah. It's actually a mini tank here, like I could maybe show off that I got. I got to show off how to get that I missed first time around, but yeah, I didn't do my old trick of going left. So yeah, we head left on this screen. We get one of those giant enemies that you know, drops a whole bunch of stuff down. We have a thing that has the darkness, or that makes the screen dark as well. We'll get rid of that. We'll hop over here, and there's our energy elements. Now, since I say I don't, there's no point me going through the rest of the level. So yeah, we'll just exit the level. And there's a third numerical. It's a bit close to the second one, so it's a bit sort of not that I should have maybe tried going left, but I'm a bit surprised it wasn't maybe a bit better spaced out, if you will, because the second noble nickel was like, you know, only a couple of screens, or maybe even the screen above that one or something, or you know, one, you know, it was very close to it, so it could have been a bit more spread out. But oh well, anyway, yeah, I found the last noble nickel, so it wasn't too bad to find. So yay, that stage is completely done as well. So yeah, we'll see what the judges thought, and then we'll probably end the video there. Good level overall. The level really picks up in the second half, I think, once guts lifts come in. The first half isn't necessarily bad, it's just less focused in the second, and there's some enemies that are used like literally once, the Subiles, Nobitas, etc. Once the guts lifts come in, though, I feel like the level plays a lot better, especially because it combines lifts with stuff like fire pillars and killer bullets. I'm not sure if I like the killer bullet stretch, though, because it feels like the bullets can screw over too often. Most of the level still plays really well, though. There's not much beyond that, really. It just plays well. It sticks to a few gimmicks, it's just plain good. This level wasn't bad design-wise, but it was a mess aesthetically. There are features from like 6 different tile sets, which is fine if you do it right, but in this level it was clashy and didn't look good. The first half of the level was really fun, but the second half was a bit extreme with the guts lift and firebar section. I always find it rather sad one particular section of the level overshadows everything else that goes on the level. In this case, it's the guts lifts that are introduced halfway through, since it's very easy to die there. The level as a whole is pretty nice and has a good flow to it. It sadly introduces elements it later forgets about, but it's still fair and enjoyable. The guts lift sections, while not bad, can be very difficult to traverse because the platforms don't always line up well. In the first section, it can be especially difficult to make one's way across these platforms because the missiles are constantly getting in the way. Aside from that, fun stage. I also got out of bounds once. There's not a lot to talk about here. I don't think this is a bad level, but it's certainly nothing awesome. Level design is flawed, with quite a bit of bugs present, not to mention the section with multiple instances of lifts which are desynced. Other than that, there's just nothing. It's an okay stage, but there's just nothing interesting here. I can't call this bad, but it's not good. It's perfectly playable for the most part, but you do drop the ball significantly in several spots. This stage is so ugly. Misused tiles, wonky animation, and tiles that are completely at odds with each other. Some segments even look unfinished. There were some good ideas here and there. Your combination of firebar types were neat, as were two of the later noble nickels. But your guts platform segment was seriously wonky at times, really stupidly difficult for its own good. Why would you combine sine wave enemies and they explode and respawn alongside tiny platforms and jumping to other tiny platforms? I suspect you played this level once or twice, convinced it was possible to do it, and then didn't bother seeing what other players of other skill levels thought. If you do not do that segment exactly right, you're waiting ages on a platform at high risk of death. That being said, the last Gutsman platform segment did what any good Mega Man stage should do, and combine gimmicks with other gimmicks. That is good, and the one feels a lot closer to real proper difficulty than the nutball killer bullet segment. It's a shame you have just badly implemented elements all over the place. If these had worked better, you'd have the makings of a fun, if pretty average stage. Oh, the use of a boss corridor without any climax? No. Yeah, I could think, as I said before, I think probably some sort of fire type boss would have been kind of good to wrap up that stage. And yeah, I think it's very middly ground as evidenced by pretty much the judges' comments. I think they were kind of all sort of fairly close to each other. It's not bad, but there's no like wow factor around. It's very you know, the level functions perfectly well. It's pretty enjoyable to get through. I obviously didn't have too much of a problem with the Gutsman platform sections there, other than my own clumsiness right at the bat on the second one, which is just stupid. But yeah, overall pretty decent level. I would agree with the aesthetics and the background, not to say looking too hot. You always do what I did there at times, but oh dear me. Yeah, that seemed like could be a bit of a kind of a clash, but ultimately, again, I'm not judging it in the same way. No, I'm not really judging it at all. But yeah, I'm not going into level of detail with judges are. They're obviously looking at those kinds of things. I'm perhaps less interested in that per se. The level functions pretty well, and I enjoyed it. So yay. But yeah, been going on for a little while. Managed to clear 3 levels plus, or 3 contest entries plus the City War level as well. So I think that's probably a good time to, for once, actually have a pretty much designated place where I know I'm going to stop. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and we'll pick up with Tier 5 next time.